Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we have a super special unboxing because here we have the new Black Templar Crusade Ancient. So in this video we are going to open this box, we're going to check the instructions, every single bit, and after that we're going to assemble this miniature. But before I start, I would like to thank all my Patreon supporters because this video is possible thanks to them. Here we have a closer look of the box, Black Templar's Crusade Ancient, one Citadel miniature, and here it does not say Space Marines because remember that this is a unique character for the Black Templars chapter. It really has a Black Templar vibe, but with a little bit of kit bashing and some extra work, I'm sure that this Ancient can be part of any chapter. As always, at the back of the box we have a scale 1/1 of this miniature and the possible variants. For this character we can only choose the banner. I'm not going to complain about this miniature being monopose because if a miniature is monopose but that pose is awesome, zero complaints from my side. Aside from that, this is an ancient, we don't want to have too many of them, and the good thing here is that if for any reason we want to have two of them, at least we can make sure that they're going to be carrying different banners. Anyway, later I will talk more about this miniature because this is an unboxing, so let's open this box and check the contents. Okay, here we have the instructions, one single sprue that will allow us to build a Crusade Ancient and a 40mm base. As you already know, first we're going to check the instructions, then we're going to check all the bits, and after that we're going to assemble this miniature. Just how I like it, very simple, very straightforward. We have two big bits that once we put them together we almost have like the whole body of the miniature because we have both legs plus the whole torso, and this is a funny bit because if you check here at the end of the rock we have one bit of this leg, so I don't know, it's unusual, but I guess that it makes sense because like that we make sure that the pose of the miniature is the correct one. We have the body but we are missing the Black Templar flavor plus all the details, and we can find them in these two bits. Like for example, if we check here the blue part, we can clearly see that all the detail is part of this bit. That after that everything makes sense and it looks much better. I appreciate that this kind of things is in different bits because like that the quality is always nicer as well. And here we have the arm with the sword that if we check carefully, the connection is not flat, which means that if we follow the instructions, there's only one correct pose for the arm. Which actually makes sense, because if we take this arm and we put it in a different position, the pose maybe will feel unnatural, so I'm okay with this. We can see here the next pages, and we are going to add now the arm with the banner. Again, the connection is not flat, so if we follow the instructions, there's only one correct pose for the arm, which again makes sense because if not, the pose maybe will feel unnatural. We add the extra shoulder pad to the shoulder pad, and after that we have like the nice base for this miniature. And this is my favorite part, okay? Because this banner is huge, so if it was only connected to the miniature by this point here, I don't know, I'm sure that it will break very easily, but as you can see here, we add the shoulder pad and we also connect the banner to the shoulder pad. So like that, it feels much safer for me. So from here, I want to congratulate the person that designed this miniature because this kind of details, I really appreciate them. After that, the miniature is almost complete. We just need some small details like adding the head and the back, and then we can decide the banner that we want to have for this miniature. After that, we just finish the banner adding the skull and we glue the miniature to the base to have a nice, really cool looking Black Templar Crusade Ancient. Enough of the instructions, now let's take a look at the bits that will allow us to build this Crusade Ancient. At the moment of making this video, I can say that this is a very recent miniature. This is a brand new Black Templar character. As it is expected from Games Workshop, the amount of detail is fascinating and the quality of every single bit is really good. And now we can start taking a look at these bits individually. Okay, we can start with the front of the body that looks very nice. Here there's no shoulder pad, there's the under it because of course we are going to later add this one that looks very nice. It reminds me a lot of the Black Templar Marshal and I like that kind of consistency within the armies. Aside from that, we can also see a very nice amount of detail. And if we take a look at this arm, we can clearly see already that there's only one correct way to attach the banner for this miniature. Here we have two super interesting bits. We have the banner, And we have the helmet. The helmet looks awesome. I really like this one. It looks super cool, super Black Templar. And regarding the banner, it looks very nice, of course, but I want to address this part here because it's clearly noticeable where we are going to attach the banner to the shoulder pad, because we have like the exact position here as well. So yes, very simple, very intuitive, very nice design for this miniature. Here we have the tactical rock, obviously, and we have like a really nice amount of details there. The rocks, it's the same style of rocks that we can find also on the Marshal, the Execrator, also the Emperor's Champion, so nice consistency. We also have some nice bits of bones there, so it's always nice and welcome. And here we have this bit that we are going to later apply to the leg, that has like a lot of detail and a lot of things going on there. And same here, we have the extra decoration for the other leg. The sword is exactly the same that the rest of Black Templars wear, so nothing different here, but I'm happy that it's not different, it's the same type of sword that the other miniatures have, because again, consistency within the army. Then here we have the back, and I'm extremely happy that there's a sculpted cross right there, because like that is much better. And of course, if this is a unique Black Templar miniature, I want to see this kind of details. I want us to take a look at this, okay? Because the first time that I saw this, like in the box art, if we take a look at it, the hand is painted in a silver color, so for me it was weird because I was like, why is the armor painted in this black color, but the hand is silver? And now I get it, because this banner is attached to this miniature in a very fancy way, and I like this kind of nice details. To finish checking these bits, we can take a look at the different banner options, and here we have a very specific one from, it's written there, Armageddon. Very lore accurate, that's always welcome, and we have like everything here, all the Black Templar flavor. We have the Black Templar sword, we have also the cross right there, we have the orc skull there, I don't know, the chains, some beauty seals. It looks super cool. I like this one a lot. I'm not going to use this one, but remember this bit, because at some point I'm going to glue this to some vehicle. And then we have this shield that will allow us to customize our crusade. That's always welcome, and I'm always into that, so I'm very happy to have like this kind of option. As I said, options are always welcome, the more the better. But still, what I like the most, rather than the customization options for the banner, is that yes, we can customize the banner, but not only that, like there's not going to be leftover bits from this Crusade Ancient, because regardless of the choice that we make, and as you can see here, it's super easy to glue this into something. So I'm sure that these bits will be decorating a lot of Black Templar vehicles, and they will give them much more Black Templar personality. At this point, we check the instructions, we check all the bits, and now it's where the best part begins. Let's start assembling this miniature. This miniature by itself, it's finished, but now to make the base a little bit more interesting, I'm going to cut some bits of sprue and I'm going to glue them to the base. And this is it, this is the final result, this is how I assembled this Crusade Ancient. I'm in love with this miniature, I really like this Crusade Ancient, and obviously, as usual, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about this new miniature. When this Ancient was announced for the Black Templars, I was very happy, and I thought that it was like a super awesome looking miniature, but now that I was able to assemble this character and I'm able to hold it in my hands, it's like, okay, I'm even more happier than I expected. I think that this miniature looks magnificent. Such a nice, cool looking Ancient for the Black Templars. I like to put the whole miniatures together because I think that it looks nicer on the videos, but obviously if you want to paint and assemble this miniature, my first recommendation is to not glue the option for the banner. Like, leave it aside and then paint everything and then put it together, because as you can see here, I'm going to have a very hard time painting behind that shield. But once this miniature is painted, I'm sure that it's going to be worth it. And aside from that, I would also like to mention that assembling this miniature was not as smooth as I expected to be. I had two issues mainly. First of all, my first recommendation, before applying glue, try to check how the bits are going to be connected, because I had that issue with this bit. I was not able to connect it nicely and I panicked for a moment, but then I heard this like click and everything was together nicely. It's just that a little bit of glue came out, but it's not noticeable right now on the video, so I'm sure that after I prime the miniature and I paint it, it's not going to be noticeable at all. Then my second small issue was with this arm, because yes, be extra careful. Because when I put the arm, I didn't put it in the correct position. I thought that I did, but I didn't. And that's why when I tried to put like the banner, I was not able to glue it nicely, like with this connection and this connection. So I had like to move the arm a little. And after that, it worked nicely. But yeah, those are my small issues. Aside from that, perfect. It's a really cool looking miniature. The amount of detail is like perfect. It's a super cool looking miniature, and the design of this Crusade Ancient is just fantastic. Obviously, for the base, I went for this urban base. I added all these cobblestones. That also allowed me to glue the banner to the base, because there's a small space between the bottom part of the banner and the base of the miniature. So like this, now it's like glued nicely. So I have the banner glued to the base and also to the miniature on 2 points. So I feel like it feels very stable and nice. Of course, I have to be extra careful. Like, this area feels nice, but this one is a little bit more fragile, so yes, we have to be careful, but it's worth it. This miniature is amazing. Honestly, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here, and I cannot wait to start painting this miniature. So for sure, very soon you will see a video of me painting this miniature on the channel. As usual, I would like to remind you that if you like the content and you would like to support the channel and help me to continue improve and growing, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. And with all of that being said, this is it. This is how I assembled this Crusade Ancient for the Black Templars. And of course, as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.